Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, and welcome to the Queen Nefertiti YouTube channel. Going to give everybody a few minutes to hop on. I don't see anybody who's joined me yet. So hopefully in the next minute or two, we will have some people join. I hope everyone is having a great evening. If you see me squirm a little bit, that's because I am in pain. I'm having some issues with my left arm and shoulder again, and actually in my neck also. And so I've been in pain for the last few days. So hopefully the pain will start subsiding. It kind of dies off when I'm sitting down after I've been sitting for about an hour, which I'm not supposed to do because of my arthritis in my back. But my back isn't flaring up much. It's, like I said, my shoulder and arm. But once I get started moving around again, it starts right back hurting. So the medication isn't really helping, and hopefully in the next day or so it will start helping for relieving some of that pain. So we're going to wait about another minute, and then I'm as you log in, please introduce yourself. That way I know who is all. I will see the number of people who have joined, but I don't know who the people are who have joined. So please log in and introduce yourselves. Once you are logged in, if you are one of our current contestants, a former title holder or ambassador, even including ambassadors, part of our staff, please introduce yourself to others so that they know who all are involved with the pageant. So any of you are logged in to this live feed, please go ahead and introduce yourselves. And also let us know where you're from. I'm going to be kind of typing a little bit on here. I do have some questions that one person has submitted through our Facebook event page that asked a few questions that I'll be answering. And please do not ask the live questions yet until I open up the question section for live questions. As I said, I'll be answering the ones from the people who did post questions in the Facebook event page first, after I go over some brief information about the pageant. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully some people will be joining in. If you don't know me yet, my name is Vanessa King. I am the founder and owner of Queen Nefertiti Productions and Ubuntu Pageants International. I started Queen Nefertiti Productions as a production company for pageants since I started directing for multiple pageants. So I lumped everything under the one main group, but we still do have those individual pageants. We currently produce, in addition to Ubuntu Pageants International, we do Hope Pageants USA and Canada, and also the Ohio American Royal Miss and Master Pageant. So Ubuntu Pageants International, as I said, I am the founder. So I created that in 2011 after I had some issues directing with a few pageants, um, and didn't like some of the things that I saw or the way that they treated either the contestants, the staff, or the combination of both. So I decided to, after some encouraging from some former contestants and friends who felt that since I had been directing for so long, I should just start my own pageant system. So I actually came up with the whole concept of Ubuntu Pageants International, including the name and what I wanted the pageant to focus on within 3 days. Um, and then I kind of worked on what all the competition categories I wanted. I knew some of them that I wanted to include, and also to kind of do a breakdown of the age divisions. I originally started with just females, and it was for ages, well, still the main competition for ages 13 and up, but then I started with the Princess program for girls ages 5 through 12. But then I added on, as I said, the male divisions, and also gradually over time reduced the princess age to kind of get people in and started early. So we currently have our Princess and Prince program, which is for boys and girls ages 2 through 12, and then our regular competitions for males and females ages 13 and up. And we do have divisions for women who are married and full figure. That also includes a full figure division for our teens. We have our Miss division for um, females who have. Now, Ubuntu Pageants International is a pageant for those of Black heritage from all over the world. As a matter of fact, our very first title holder is from and still lives in South Africa. So we started off right off the bat with actually having an international delegate to be part of our pageant system, which is kind of amazing because I don't know any pageant who starts off as an international pageant and immediately gets someone involved who is from and actually still living in another country. And then for our pageant, we do focus on community service. As a matter of fact, our contestants are required to complete a minimum of 15 hours of community service, which is counted for 15% of their score, and that needs to be done prior to coming to compete. So that's why I encourage, if you're planning to compete, to get your entry fee paid, to get your crown and sash, because you need that crown and sash in order to make your appearances and do your community service work under your title so that it will count towards that those 15 hours. And you don't have to actually have a breakdown of how many hours there's some of the type of events I can kind of gauge about how much time you would be involved doing a certain thing for an event. Um, you can also validate your hours by posting on Facebook. I encourage everyone to make a Facebook page for their title. That way everything is there in one spot and I don't have to search through your personal pages to find what type of appearances and what appearances you've been doing, because as you know, with the new algorithm with Facebook, um, you don't always get notifications of what's posted. So I won't know unless I go to your page a lot of times to see that you've made a post, unless you actually tag me in that post. So please tag me. If you're not friends with me, please um, send me a friend request. My Facebook personal profile is under Vanessa.j.king, and Vanessa is spelled Vanessa. So you will be able to connect with me there, and that way. And also, if you're not in our Facebook group, our main Facebook group for the pageant, you can request to be added to the Ubuntu Pageants International um, Facebook group, and I will add you. You do have to request to be added. People are not added automatically. Um, when you do requests, I'd have to approve any request that comes in. That's because in the past I used to have it open, and I would have people who would um, join the group and immediately start advertising their businesses or products. And we do not allow that unless you have special permission, unless you are one of our registered contestants, one of our staff members, a registered advertiser for our program book, one of our sponsors, and or somehow involved with the pageant in order to advertise on that group page. I don't think it's fair for people who have paid to be sponsors or advertisers or contestants or people who are volunteering their time to work with the pageant, to allow other people who are just there to advertise their businesses and are not supporting the pageant. So that is why I have to approve all posts on the pageant page, and also all requests to join on the pageant page. Our We do also have a USA pageant that is ran by our one of our former title holders, Jocelyn Spivey, who is in the Tampa, Florida area. So starting next year, we're going to try to get that USA pageant competition up and running. And then we also have an Ohio director, who is Michelle McClellan, who is in the Toledo area, and she's also going to be starting up an Ohio pageant for next year. So with those starting up, people will have to go through those various phases in order to be eligible to come to compete at the international pageant. So that means that if you are in Ohio, you must compete in the Ohio pageant first if you are competing for an Ohio title. And then from Ohio, you have to go on to the USA pageant. And then from the USA pageant, you come to compete at the international pageant. And now, a good thing about our pageant is that if you have heritage in another country, you may come directly to the international pageant representing that country. So that means for heritage, we count that as either you were born there, you went to school there, you have family born there or who still or who currently resides there. And of course, if you reside in that country, and if you own property in that country, you can represent that country and come directly to the international pageant. Now, our other competition categories, and besides our community service, which, as I mentioned, is 15% of the points. We have our the standard as any pageant does with our interview. Our interviews are done panel style. We have the evening gown competition or evening wear for the male um, contestants, which would be with the long full-length gowns for the females. This is for ages 13 and up, remember. And for the males, a tux or a very nice suit, and you should also have a tie on with your suit because this is formal. So the male should have a tie on. And then we have our interviews can be a nice suit. You don't necessarily have to have a tie for the male. And for the women, it can be a skirt suit, a pantsuit, or just a nice dress that you would wear to church. So those would be good for the interview session. We also have our fitness competition. Fitness is um, done in either swimwear or aerobic type workout gear. If you're involved in any sports like playing tennis, it would be okay to wear like a tennis style outfit. But please, no logos on your fitness competition wardrobe. It should be something plain with no logo for any company on there. And then also, we have our photogenic competition. We have our onstage introduction, and we have our ethnic wear competition, which is African attire. Um, I'm trying to make sure that I said all of them. Sometimes I forget them when I don't say them right away, and I'm giving um, descriptions in between. I forget which ones I've said. So I think I did cover all the competition categories. We also have optionals, which is also included with your entry. We have our special award competition for people who are achievement for it can be done whether it be in school, work, or if you've overcome some type of adversity, I can never get that word out correctly. You can submit for that. I would love everyone to do that, regardless if you think that it might not be something that's important, because it could be important to someone else, besides yourself. So, but it is not mandatory that you do submit for that. Um, but that consists of writing a brief essay uh, about your achievement. And then we have our why am I drawing a blank? We have our award for the person who is who has made the most appearances. So that's why I always encourage you to get out there also to get that community service work, because the more I see that you are out in the community, the more chance you have of that person who is selected as our person who's out there doing the most appearances. And then we also Princess or Prince who makes we actually do one for each of them, I should say. So who raises the most money for the pageant through their ad sales and through referrals for financial sponsors. So that's cash sponsorships for the pageant. So whoever raises the most money through the ad sales and cash sponsorship combined will be our cover model, and their photos will appear on the front cover of the program book. and they will also receive an award. I usually do a trophy and at least a sash, and I'll probably go ahead and do a crown too for the cover model. So they'll get a special crown and a sash for cover model. That also goes for the person who's out there making the most appearances. That award will also um, receive a crown and sash and a special trophy for that. And then we also, for our prince and princess, um, we have they are not required to compete, but we have a couple of things that they can compete in. Oh, I know what the other thing is. When I started thinking about that, I forgot about talent. Talent is required for those age 13 and up. So you must have a talent. A lot of people think I don't have a talent, but I always tell everybody everyone has a talent. You just have to work with it to build it to into a talent. Most people think of talent just as some type of a performing art, such as dancing, singing, playing some type of instrument. But we also accept someone who does spoken word, whether it be a dramatic reading or a reciting a poem. Um, it can be one that's a poem that's already published or a poem that you have written yourself. I have had competed with people in the past. One lady was a photographer, so she put together a presentation of photos that she has taken. Another lady competed in a pageant, and she's a painter, painting portraits and other types of um, paintings. And she brought a few of her paintings in and then spoke about each of her paintings, what the title of the painting was, what inspired her um, in creating that particular painting. So there's several different things I can do. For those of you who are involved in mime. I've seen people do mime acts. So there's, like I said, several different things that can be done for talent that people don't really think about right offhand. But as I was talking about our Princess and Prince program, they are not required to compete in any competition at all. They serve as escorts for our teams and adult contestants during the evening wear competition, and also are introduced and can, if they wish, participate in our opening number routine. I'm not sure if we're going to do a dance routine or if we'll just do some type of walk formation or what yet for the opening number yet. But as I said, the princesses and prince can participate in the opening number. Opening number is not judged uh, for our contestants. Um, let's see, what else can I do? The princes and princes can compete for our, if you are age 5 through 12, can compete for one of our head prince and prince titles. We have two breakdowns for those for our ages 5 through 8 and then ages 9 through 12. So we have those two groups for those. Those are additional to your regular entry fee if you are competing for those. It's a small additional fee. And then they can also compete in talent. And talent can be done for free, for fun. And we also have three Princes and Prince Talent Awards broken down. I think the one is the 2 to 3 years old, then the 4 to 7 or 8, I can't remember now, and then the 9 through 12. So we do have the breakdown of the three Princes and Prince Talent Awards, and that would be also an additional fee if you want to compete for one of the awards. Now, as far as entry fees, Our entry fee, basic fee, is $95 for princes and princes. And then our regular contestants for teens and adults is $499. That, as I said, that covers entries into all levels of competitions for our teens and adults, all the competition areas. And we and all the awards and any side awards that will be given. We usually do a side award for each competition category. Um, we give an award for that the person in the entire pageant who scores the highest in each of the competition categories will receive a special award for that. Um, our princesses and princes also participate. Only basically need one outfit for the girls is a white dress. I used to say cocktail length, but and it can also be an off-white, but in a white. Um, it, Preferably a regular party length or cocktail length. You can go ahead on to full length if you wish. Um, that, as I said, that will be worn during the evening wear competition when they are escorting our teens and adults for that competition. And then the rest of the wardrobe is basically just things for wearing during rehearsals. I also try to do one outing, so we try to do that during the pageant, and also so it would be something for the outing, something that's like a business casual, not really dressy, because I don't know what we're going to do yet. We may be out. I try to find something with a youth organization. I'm still waiting to hear back from a couple of them to see if they will be available during have something that we could do, which would be done on our Friday for our pageant uh, weekend. Our pageant actually starts on Friday for the activities. I try to get everyone to arrive on Thursday night. The pageant is going to be actual competition days October 27th and 28th, but I ask that contestants arrive on Thursday evening, the 25th, because we will get started on do our orientation on Friday morning, um, and then we'll that afternoon or early evening, depending on what activity we get involved with, we'll be doing that activity off premises, and then we will have our interviews on the Friday morning. Yeah, on Saturday morning, and then we have our talent competitions on Saturday evening, along with at late afternoon, early evening, along with our reception combination, my birthday party, because my birthday is October 28th, and so we will have a reception party and have cake for the as part of that. Let's see what else. And for the final stage competitions will be on Sunday, the 28th. And I was speaking on the head prince and prince titles. What that involves, if any of our princesses and princes want to participate in that, it consists of a brief interview where you will discuss some things you have been doing in the community already for community service, and also what your goals are to do um, as being, if you are named as the one of our head princesses or princes, what your goals would be as far as holding that title. Um, as I mentioned, that is a small additional fee along with the princes and princesses if they want to compete for one of the talent awards, but not if they're doing the talent for fun. Now, we do offer discounts. We offer family discounts for people in the same household. So there's a $50 discount for the teens, and if there's more than one teen or adult uh, in the same household who are competing. And with our princesses and princes, if there's more than one in the same household, they get a $15 discount off of their entry fee. And we do offer a now I just lost track of what I was saying. We do also offer a discount if we have a teen or an adult and a child in the Princes and Princess program. We do deduct $15 off of the princess fees since someone is already competing in the regular competition. And we also offer referral discounts. So if you refer another contestant, whether it be for the regular competition or the princess program, you do receive a $50 referral fee for the regular competition and $15 for the princesses and princes. And if you haven't paid your entry fee in full by the time that comes up for the teens and adults, that can be deducted from your entry fee, but you cannot take any deductions until the person you referred has paid their fee in full. That way we know they are a confirmed contestant or participant in the Princess and Prince program. So if you have paid your fee in full before those come in and they finish paying theirs, you will receive that funds back, uh, which can help you with other things you might need to work on for the pageant. Now, our entry fees do not include your hotel or your travel for the pageant, and it does include some of your meals, so most of your meals will be covered. Possibly, depending on if we find sponsors, we could have all the meals covered. So make sure you are prepared to pay for your hotel, travel, and for some of your meals on there. I'm still working on the venue. I will actually be doing an open house at a new event center that is opening up on that actually opened it up on the 1st, and they are holding an open house on the 11th. So I will be going to that opening house because it's a very good sized facility where we would be able to get a decent sized crowd in there. So I will be going to look at that facility, as I said, on the 11th, which is Saturday, for their grand opening open house, and then I'll be able to talk with the owner at that time to discuss the rental. She did let me know that those dates are available. Excuse me, I was losing my voice some there, but she did say those are available. The dates are available for the 27th and 28th. And I am trying to wait on getting that before confirming the hotel, because I want to try to get a hotel near the venue if we aren't going to be doing the event at the hotel. Um, the reason why I try to do an outside venue because they are less expensive than the hotels, and I rather put those funds into things for the contestants rather than spending extra money for a venue when I'm not sure how many people we are going to end up with. And as I said, I'd rather invest that funds into prize packages and other things for the contestants and guests so that they can have an enjoyable time rather than try to spend a whole lot for an expensive venue, because there are some out there that are reasonably priced, which will offer the same type of space and things in there with included with that fee. So that is some about our pageant. I'm going to go real quick. I have one person who did post some questions on our Facebook event page that they wanted asked, and that's Latanya Camacho. Latanya is one of our current title holders. She actually has our Queen of Queen title for the contestant with the highest score for the pageant. That goes to there. So in addition to our regular division title holders, the overall highest scored person for the competition receives our Queen of Queen or King of Kings title, which is our, actually I should say Ultimate Queen of Queen or Ultimate King of Kings title. And then that means whoever would normally have been first runner-up in that division moves up into the title holder for that division on there. So we do require for the full payment for the princesses and princes to get your crown and sashes, and also for our regular contestants. $150 payment holds your title. So if you have not paid that at least $150 of your entry fee, your title, that possible title that we had figured that would be yours, is still open for others to get. So if I get someone else who is ready to pay and get their entry fee, at least a deposit in, actually about right now, you should be working on getting any balances in because our actual cutoff date is September the 1st, but I think I'm going to extend that to the 15th. So we need to have everything in by that time. And it is very helpful for you to get them in early because you've got to consider what all we have to do with the pageant. And when you're working with a small amount of staff and are trying to do a lot of the things yourself, it's hard to get things done at the last minute. So that's why I also do a director's award for the person who submits everything on time. That means their entry fees, all their paperwork, their ad payment for their one ad they're required. Our contestants 13 and up are required to sell one ad page in the program book. That is in any combination, whether it be just somebody buying one full page, if it's split up into half page, four quarter page ads. I think it amounts to 8 business card size ads, and then also the combination of 2 quarter pages and a half page, or any combination thereof to amount to a full page. So they are required to sell that one ad, and you do get commission, as I said, on ad. So if you do sell ads, you get 20% commission on any ad sales that you make and on any sponsorship money. Our pageant is all about working together, and by working together and making us successful, we reward those people who are helping us in doing that. So we reward our contestants for getting ad sales and for bringing financial sponsors to the pageant so that we can hold a nice competition for everyone. So they get a portion of what money they bring into the pageant. We also have our People's Choice Award. Those are $1 per vote. Payment is made through our PayPal account, and we usually start that up about a month prior to the pageant, about 3 to 4 weeks before the pageant date. Once I get all the photos in, because I use the photos to post on our website, and people can go to the website and it will have the link for them to cast their votes, and you can cast any number of votes. Now, it automatically sets for only doing one vote, but you can change that number to any number you wish to vote for that person. So don't keep doing one vote at a time. You can go ahead, once you log in, click the link, it'll pop up this one. You can change that number to a higher number, and you can vote how many ever times you want, how many ever days you want, for how many ever contestants you want. So if you have more than one contestant that you want to support, that goes into them. And from those votes, the contestant will get 50% of the winning contestant who raises the most, and that includes our princesses and princes. They also can participate in that. Whoever receives the most votes gets 50% of the funds that was raised through the People's Choice voting, and the other 50% goes to our um, pageant charity, which is an organization called Battered Not Broken Inc., which is an organization that works with victims and others involved in domestic violence to providing resources, raising awareness about the issue. And this is an issue that is dear to my heart because I myself am a survivor of domestic violence. And we also have, almost forgot, our Survivor Award. This is open to any woman, regardless of race, who is a survivor of domestic violence. That entry fee for that, which is actually a $35 donation to Battered Not Broken um, Inc., that money goes directly to them. It doesn't even pass through the pageant hands. It goes directly to the organization. So that is a 100% charitable donation. So it is 100% deductible as a donation to a charity. You will receive a receipt on that. And what that award consists of is writing an essay about how being a survivor of domestic violence, how you have used your experience to help others to heal. Um, so it consists of writing an essay up to 350 words, and you, as I said, the funds for the fee goes directly to Battered Not Broken Inc. And then the essays come to us. You will receive a receipt, and you need to submit that receipt showing you paid along with your essay to the pageant. Then once we get all those essays together, they will be distributed to Marika, I always get her name wrong, Marika Phipps, who is a survivor herself of domestic violence, who is the founder and the owner of Battered Not Broken Inc. The essays will be forwarded to her once we get all the essays in. And the award is actually called the Battered Not Broken Marika Phipps Survivor Award. And the winner of that, we will invite you don't have to be a contestant to participate in that. As I said, it's open to any woman who is a survivor. And we will invite the five finalists the finalists to the pageant. They will receive free tickets, and then the finalists will be introduced um, during our, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it after the talent competition, like a filler in between while the judges are tabulating, final tabulation for the score, which is what I might do is introduce those finalists and announce the winner, or we may wait and announce the winner at the party, but we will introduce those introduce the finalists and announce the winner of the Survivor Award competition during our events on Saturday, October 27th. So I think I've covered enough there. Let me go ahead and get to these questions. We've only got 15 minutes, and I actually have another live conference meeting that I will be doing, not for myself, but that I need to be on at 8 p.m. So we've got about 15 minutes. I don't see anybody who is asking questions or anything. So the first question asked by Latanya is, me, myself, I can and will eat anything, but will there be special food there for people who are on a specific diet? Yes, I will work with the hotel to let them know. In a few weeks, I will be asking for people if they have any restrictions because of their diet, their food allergies, or religious beliefs on food, so that we will have an idea of what to use for the menu for our meals. So we will, I do try my best to come up with something or a variety so that it will fix everybody's dietary or needs. Um, because some people may be on a low carb or low sodium diet, especially. Um, there may be, as I said, somebody with food allergies or religious preferences that can't eat specific foods. So we do try to work with everyone dietary needs in order to make sure that they are able to eat um, meals with everyone else. And second question is, what has been the most challenging point or time in the pageant for for me, for you, which is referring to me? The most challenging point is trying to get support with the pageant. We are still having difficulties getting a lot of support and getting the word out to contestants, potential sponsors, to get that support that we need in order to hold the events in the manner that I want them to be. Because I would like it to get to a point where we can offer cash awards to our at least our top winner will be able to get a cash award and maybe a smaller amount for the division winners. So we are, I would like to get the pageant to that point where we'll be able to do stuff like things like that. I do, um, out of my own pocket, cover a special prize for the overall, the Queen of Queen or King, Ultimate King of Kings, the Ultimate Queen of Queens winner. So I usually try to do a special prize for them, but who knows, we may be able to pull in a sponsor to cover that prize for them also. So that's the difficult part, is basically getting the support and getting the word out so that we can get a good number of contestants and a lot of sponsorship for the pageant so that we can have a very nice event for everyone. And as some people you will find out, I no longer work outside of my home um, on a regular 9 to 5 basis because I was forced to go on disability because of some issues I had with arthritis in my back. For missing so many days of work, I kept losing jobs. And so finally, I just decided just to go on disability. So now, since I am on disability, I don't have a lot of extra income to put into the pageant without getting those sponsorships and getting those contestant fees. The pageant is totally self-sufficient, which means that it what we are able to offer is based on um, the money from entry fees and sponsorship, the ad sales, that all contributes to those funds all go into what we need to provide for the pageant, whether it be paying for the venue, paying, getting prize packages together that we need for the contestants that um, if we don't have any sponsors for anything, so everything will be provided out of those fees. That's why it is very important for another reason why it's very important for contestants to get their entry fees in early and to get those words out to any potential sponsors or advertisers. In the pageant paperwork, there is a sponsorship packet that can be given out to sponsors. As I had mentioned to someone, it's probably best if you can email that packet to people because it is, I think, about 14 pages, so that you won't have to keep printing up a lot of copies and spending a lot of money on printing. You can email that document to potential sponsors, and then the sponsors, I do it in Word form intentionally so that sponsors can uh, print, easy for them to print out the page and do it, and I can also do it in a PDF file. I have it in both versions so that they can go through the packet and then they can read the information on from their computer and then print up just those pages that they need in order to sign up for being there's a registration form for being a sponsor, a registration form for the ads, and a registration form for the vendor. So they can print up those files that they need, those pages out of that file that they need, so they don't necessarily have to print up the entire packet and have all that excess paper, which we know end up going in the trash can once you read it. And so that saves, on having that excess paper to have to dispose of once you get the portions out of it that you need. Um, let's see. And the next question was, what can contestants expect this year for the pageant? We hope this year that we do have more contestants who get involved so that we can really put on a good length of show for the guest, and the contestants can have a good time. Um, I expect I expect to be able to, as I said, either if I may go with, depending on what size of the group, may go with a small hotel with just a small area to use for the pageant, or if there are more, we will have a larger, may still use the small hotel. There are some that do offer breakfast, and then we are allowed, since they don't offer lunch and dinner, to cater in lunch and dinner for the contestants, and then for the contestants and guests for the reception for those entering that. We will be, as I said, I'm working on trying to get an outing for us to go out, at least to do one community service project while everyone is here for the pageant, for our contestants to participate in. And just expecting for everybody to have a good time and enjoy themselves. That's basically, what I hope for the contestants to have an exciting, fun time, to meet a lot of people from various backgrounds, and hopefully some from other countries that will come to be involved in the pageant. I do have a few that are working on getting sponsorship, so hopefully some of those will pan through and we will actually get someone to come compete um, again from who will be traveling from other countries to come compete. The next question is, and the final question is, um, oh, one more question. What are your expectations of contestants? I almost skipped that question. I expect the contestants to get things in a timely manner, to attend events, be at the events during pageant weekend on time, preferably arrive a little early so that you are there so that we can start on time. If anybody knows me well, I am a stickler to being on time. And by not being on time for events, you can possibly lose points. I will let the judges know that you are not, if you are not at events on time. So it will be at their discretion. I always let it be at the judge's discretion how many points they want to deduct uh, for you not being at events on time. I expect you to behave, to be courteous to the staff, fellow contestants, and guests. And I also expect your guests to behave in a proper manner. If the guests misbehave, that includes your parents for the kids or even for the adult contestants and teens attested. Um, expect them to behave in a proper manner because that reflects on you. So, I do, as I do, I expect you to ask questions. So don't just sit around not being confused. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Some people say it's a stupid question. Do not say it is a stupid question. No question is stupid. If you don't know about something, you need to ask so that you can have an answer to your question. So no question is a stupid question. So it always gets to me when somebody says, this may be a stupid question, but as I said, no question is stupid. And I also, her final question is how many contestants are expected to compete? I am hoping to have at least 10 to 15 people participating. My goal is to get 25. So so please, other contestants, get your referrals out there. Anybody who's going to be there supporting the pageant, even if you're not going to be able to make it to the pageant, put the word out to let people know about this competition so that we can build up our numbers so that we can have a great event for our contestants and our guests. Um, and I also wanted to mention things on a few things before I close because I wanted to cover this portion. I did wanted to say things for information for um, our sponsors, advertisers, and vendors. As I said, we do have a sponsorship packet for that. So if you email me at Queen Nefertiti Productions at Queen Nefertiti Productions LLC at gmail.com, I will and request a sponsor packet. That sponsor packet, as I said, has all the information needed for being a sponsor, advertising in the program book. It has and vendor information, and also has a breakdown of our specific sponsorship levels. But those sponsorship levels, I always say, are not etched in stone. So for instance, if we got someone who owns a fitness wear business and they would like to provide a wardrobe for our fitness competition, we can tailor a special sponsorship package based on that. And also for certain monetary values, if there's some additional things that you want added to what what shows that our perks are for each sponsorship level, you can we can tailor up something that will more fit your needs on there. Um, so we do have several sponsorship levels for as little for as little amount as someone wants to give. If there's somebody just who doesn't have a business who just wants to donate a small amount to the pageant, you are welcome to do so. Um, we don't have any minimum set for that you can sponsor, but we do have minimum amount ordered to be at certain specific sponsor levels, but you will be mentioned as a friend of the pageant. I think that level is $25. So for $25, you will be mentioned in the program book as being a friend of the pageant. So there's several, as I said, several different levels that you can do, and there's several different perks, which includes free ads in the program book or reduced price ads. And if you want to upsize your ad from what you get for the free level, you are welcome to do that. You just pay the difference between the cost of the ads, um, free vendors or free or reduced vendor space for our sponsors. So there's lots of things that are all covered in that program book. And for our vendors, you can vend. I don't know yet how much space I will have for vendors until I finalize the venue. But you will be able to vend either Saturday, Sunday, or both days. So you do have those options. If you're just available for one of the days, you can just vend for one day. So, as I said, all that information is in with all the rates for ads are all in that sponsorship packet. So just as I said, email me at Queen Nefertiti Productions LLC. If you see the name on the YouTube channel, that's just all ran together, and at gmail.com. That is the email address for the pageant. Please also specify it's for Ubuntu pageants. If you ask for a sponsor packet, I know which one it is because I don't have anything right now for the other pageants, so I know which sponsor packet you're asking for. But if you are calling in regards to being a contestant um, or judging, I will be starting to reach out for judges again. If you want to join, volunteer for our staff, we do have some volunteer spots that will be open for the pageant to anything from running errands, make trips to the store for us to purchase something that we may end up needing that we don't have on hand, making runs for contestants because I do not want contestants to leave the property. So if a contestant finds out that they've forgotten something and needs someone to run to the store, we need people to run that. We need someone to help with registration, with to add to our hair and makeup staff. We need people like that. We do have a head makeup artist. She's based in California. Her name is Carla Ballou, a very excellent makeup artist. She is our head makeup artist. And she, as I said, most of our staff are volunteers since we are still building. So she volunteers her time and will be traveling all the way from California. We will try to help some with travel expenses for staff, but we prefer the staff be in or nearby area where it's not expensive, but we will provide hotel rooms for anyone who is part of staff per se, like our hair and makeup artists, judges, and things like that. So we will try to provide as much as we can for those. Definitely will have hotel rooms for any of our judges and staff who are traveling out the area and will need hotel accommodation. And we will try to cover transportation. So it all depends, as I said, on how much funding we get in from sponsors. So please put the word out again for sponsors on there. So I think that's about it. If you have any more questions, you can email me and ask questions. You can find me on Facebook. Um, and you can also ask, and if you are a member of the pageant group, you can ask questions in there, and I will ask that. Once you do become a contestant and for Princess and have paid your fee in full, you will be added to our private delegate group where you can meet other delegates and chat with them and find out who all is going to be competing, um, and get to know each other prior to the pageant. Um, and we also have our staff members, former title holders who are still helping out with the pageant. So that page is specifically for those. It is a private page. It is not public, so no one can be um, added to that page without my approval. So that, as I said, it is private, so there will be conversations there that should be only privy to those who are involved with the pageant as staff or participating as a contestant or princess. So that's it for now. I need to get off here. And again, feel free to email me, find me on Facebook. Um, and we can get any questions you might have answered if you weren't able to attend. And remember also, if you're watching this replay, we will also have another session on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, right here again on the channel, on our YouTube channel, for those who could not make the event tonight. So thank you all for those of you who did watch this live, and I don't see any other questions, so I will say farewell, and I hope to see all of you at our pageant October 27th and 28th in Columbus, Ohio. And for contestants, remember arriving Thursday, the evening of Thursday, October 25th, and contestants do not plan to depart until the morning of October 29th, that Monday morning, because if you do win, there will be a meeting after the pageant on um, Sunday night to go over signing your contracts and um, also on discussing things for the year, some things that we could possibly do together as a group, um, maybe a group travel event. I have a couple of things that I have in mind that we could possibly do. So we want to get an early start on those to get planning some different events so that we can get those out. And also, to discuss again all the expectations and everything, um, and to answer anything that people might have about the contract. So that includes princesses also. We do expect princesses and princes to be at that meeting also. So if you can please not plan to leave unless you are local until Monday morning so that you can attend that information meeting and get your contracts and everything all signed. So thanks again, everyone, for attending. Have a good evening, and I will be chatting again on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time with the next session to give others an opportunity to ask questions. And remember, if you are on Facebook, look for that post on my page, and also the posting is also in the groups for the event page, which reminds you of the days of the event. And in that pinned post is where you can ask questions so that I have an idea of some questions to answer during the live event prior to opening up the questions to others. So if you've got those questions in there, that kind of gives me an idea to kind of look over those questions and actually have an answer if it's something that I may have to think about for a while, that I can already have kind of an idea of what the questions are and be able to answer those more quickly on the live event. So good night, everyone. Thanks again. And we will see you on Sunday for those of you who plan to attend the Sunday event. And also remember, these are posted to this YouTube page, so they are always there for people to view and and go over any questions that might be asked. So if you view these videos, a question may have been answered that you were thinking about asking, so you won't have to ask that question. So have a good night, and I look forward to seeing you all soon see you on the live on Sunday. And please look for us and join our pageant Facebook groups. You will also be able to find us on Twitter and Instagram. I have both personal and the pageant page, um, pageant accounts for both Twitter and Instagram. So Twitter is Ubuntu Pageants with the S. Make sure you do put the S on the end. And our my Twitter profile is under Vanessa Jewel with one L 59. And for the Instagram pages, my personal page is the same as my Facebook page, Vanessa.j.king, and the pageant page is Ubuntu underscore pageants with the S again underscore international. So you can find us on there. So please follow us on Twitter and on Instagram, and follow me too. And once again, is Vanessa King, owner, founder, director for Ubuntu Pageants International, and the owner and founder of Queen Nefertiti Productions, LLC, and we are based out of Columbus, Ohio. Thanks again, everyone. Bye-bye.